finally here. Opening playbook, we're ready to roll. Daily moves that fire up your soul. Strategy sharp like a razor blade. This is where the big plays are made. Oh, charts are lighting up the morning sky. They spot the trends with the hawk's eye. Options and plays in a live display. This is where the big plays are made. Oh, charts are lighting up the morning sky. They spot the trends with the hawk's eye. Options and plays in a live display. Every move counts in the game they play. Opening playbook, we're ready to roll. Daily moves that fire up your soul. Strategy sharp like a razor blade. This is where the big plays are made. Oh, step by step they break it down. No confusion, no spinning around. With every trade they set the tone, making big calls on their trading throne. Opening playbook, we're ready to roll. Daily moves that fire up your soul. Strategy sharp like a razor blade. This is where the big plays are made. Oh, this is where the big plays are made. Oh. Opening playbook, we're ready to roll. Daily moves that fire up your soul. Strategy sharp like a razor blade. This is where the big plays are made. Oh.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the opening playbook for Thursday, February 19th. Hope everyone is doing well. Got lots of people saying good morning in the chat. Love to see it. Graham should be with us in just a second, and then we'll get rocking and rolling. He's got a cool training to go over, and I know we've got a few things to talk about this morning, so hang tight. Yeah, so we have, in addition to the opening playbook, Graham is also doing a special members meeting at 1 p.m. Sean, I saw that you posted that there is no link in the opening playbook members area for that. So I'm going to let the team know right now to plug it in there, but it should be in any of Graham's programs members areas. So we will make sure we get that going before 1 o'clock. All right, let's see. Here's Graham logging on right now. Hello, sir.
We are, sorry I was a minute late. We are currently trying to get the lotto board up for the diamond members. So if you are a diamond member, hopefully you will get access to that today.
Very, very cool. Yep, just letting people know that you were doing that at 1. They can find the link in any of the members areas, although we need to add it to the opening playbook members area as well. But I'll let Jordan know about that.
Cool. Hey, Nate.
Oh, hello.
I thought you weren't going to make it today.
I'm just hopping on for a minute. It's not feeling super great, but just wanted to see the people and mention, hey, if you didn't close Walmart, I still am holding on a little bit here. If it goes above 130, I'll close it. Probably be a 20% win, but I'm hoping it actually pulls back a little bit, closer to 128, 127.50. See if we can get a 60, 70, 80% winner. But if you have any concerns, close it now. It's a nice 35 to 40% winner on Walmart.
Nice. Walmart just keeps going, huh?
Yeah, what actually had a nice little pullback
Yeah.
there that I wish I would have loaded up on.
Actually,
Because it's
it's a
been a
good
monster.
example. Good example. Um, Let me pull up my Thinkorswim. If you guys didn't see it in Telegram, we are going to do for members of any of my services. If you're a member of one of my premium services, we're going to do a 1 p.m. meeting today, just for a little lotto board preview, walk you through it, kind of the general premise of it, gearing up for its big release here the last day of the month. Now, Walmart is actually a great example of what I'm going to talk about today. Today, we're going to talk about, actually, it's done it a few times. Today, we're going to talk about how to trade for overnight moves, which typically work well on Thursdays going into Friday because Friday's option expiration day, so we can get the cleanest leverage on Thursdays. Now, Nate, there's a new caveat to this that now that those a lot of tickers are getting those Monday, Wednesday, Friday options, we can actually open up this window for a lot more days. So Friday would be a good tradable day, Tuesday and Thursday. But generally speaking, for any ticker with weekly options, Thursday is a great day to do this. Now, what we're looking for, I'll walk you through it, but two big down days to then give us a relief pop. 1, 2, pop. 1, 2, pop. We'll talk about this more today. I even have a scanner for you guys
Oh, nice.
that I'm going to give you too.
Well, it's a pretty good timing to talk about the overnight idea because of what you just said. More expirations, more opportunities ever to do those kind of trades.
Yeah, and with the markets just kind of in this, I mean, let's just, I've shown you this a few times now. Here's the S&P since October.
Yeah, it's a beauty. It's a beauty.
I mean, my goodness, it's just grinding nowhere right now. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. But it does give us some opportunities with these trades because we do get these big sell-off days that turn into a pop. And it works to the other way as well. Big up days tend to fade.
Yeah.
Now
Uh,
I personally like to trade it downside going up, so I like going bullish here because markets tend to go up, but you can do it both ways.
Jason was asking me this morning. I don't know if Jason's in here. Was asking me this morning how the stacking strategy is doing with just Chop Fest for 5 months. And I was saying it's kind of crazy because it loads up trades every day, and then when we're at the bottom of the range, my open P&L is down 30 grand. When we're at the top of the range, it's up 30 grand, and then we just kind of hope to hit enough targets in between on the
Right.
bounces back and forth. It's a very weird environment to be trading it.
At least with the stacking, you kind of have time working in your favor, where the closer you
Right.
get to expiration, the more sensitive they will be to getting your target.
Yep. Yep.
Alrighty. Well, I was going to pull up the lotto board today, but because they're moving it over, nothing's loading right now. So it's in the middle of a move to the diamond members.
Oh, today's the day we get the
Today's the day.
on the final servers. Nice.
Yes. And if you're a diamond member, give me a yes in the chat just to let me know. I am going to ask for you guys. Obviously, I've been doing my best to tweak it, find any kinks, any issues or errors. I think I've got it in a really, really great spot. So if you are a diamond member, I would love for you to test it and then also provide our team with feedback as well to make it even better. If you got, because more eyeballs on it makes it even better. I've seen it so many times over the last month and a half now that I pretty much know it inside and out, but I may be missing something that you guys will see with fresh eyes. So be on the lookout for that today. Everybody who has a premium membership of mine will be invited at 1 p.m. to get a little early preview. I'm not giving away the tool to everyone. It's only for diamond members, but make sure they're at 1 p.m. to get a little teaser again for members only. Alrighty. Hannah, I don't think it'll be recorded for the 1 p.m. meeting. But if you're, well, I'll see if we can do it again for the members, just so you don't have to miss out. Scaducious. I'm going to put together rules for you guys where you can see Typically with the lottos, it'll give us a target. I'm trying to hold to the target. Now, right now, I was actually just talking to Jason this morning as well with this chop that we've had. Again, here's the S&P. Just ugly chop. I'm trying to right now pick ones that have about a month or 2 months out till expiration, because if we only go a week out, we'll probably get eaten up by some of this time decay. Now, there can still be some really great opportunities, especially with what I'm going to show you today. When we get a big sell off, it may be a good day to find those shorter dated lottos for a big move. But typically speaking, just with where we're at with the chop, I'm trying to give it a little bit more time. All right. Well, before we get there, let's talk about trading overnight moves in the stock market. Look for some live trading today. I'm going to give you guys a scanner as well for Thinkorswim. My name's Graham, if you don't know that by now. Today, I'm going to teach you one of my favorite ways to identify stocks with a strong likelihood of gapping up overnight, plus how to apply options on them. So today, I will cover this approach to spotting stocks that are primed to jump, and then we will walk you through the option selection process as well. So now the technical pattern that I'm going to teach you today is a bullish fade trade. If you guys are familiar with this, give me a yes. If you're not, give me a no in the chat. Bullish fade trade.
That's when you shoot the trade while you're kind of jumping backwards, right?
That's right. That's a Kobe Bryant fadeaway
Yeah.
right here. All right, a lot of no's. Perfect. Well, we'll dive into it. Walk you through it. Okay, so for starters, you may have heard of things like reversion to the mean taught in the stock market. If you haven't, essentially what that means is that stocks in a bullish trend, man, I wish the markets looked like this right now, but stocks in a bullish trend typically stay the course of the midline, right? So I drew that line slicing this chart in half. It's in a bullish trend. However, it doesn't just move in a straight line every single day. It'll go higher, then lower, higher, then lower, higher, then lower, but it does maintain that midline. But eventually it reverts to the mean. It comes back to that line, probably crosses over. You guys see what I'm talking about here with this reversion to the mean. This is kind of the backstory of understanding this trade. Now with the bullish fade trade, this is exactly what we're looking for, but we're just doing it on a much shorter time frame. So again, we're trading reversion to the mean on a short time frame. So generally, we want to see a good, strong stock like Walmart that I just showed you that has fallen hard. Typically, the harder the better, unless it's totally news driven. But it's fallen hard 2 to 3 days in a row. And then we buy it at the end of the day for an overnight gap higher or relief rally or a bounce. For example, here's a trade I had on Google. December 31st, one bad day, 2 down day. You buy there on the second red day and sell it for an overnight pop. That was 60% on the options overnight or AXP. 1 down day, 2 down day, 3 down day. Now, note here, don't necessarily look at the candle colors. This is green, so it may trick your eyes to think, oh, that was a good day. Markets went up, or hood went, or AXP went up in this case. No, it didn't. The close the previous day was here. So it fell overnight, fell overnight, fell overnight. Buy on day 3. Sell the next morning where it opened for a nice pop. That one was 54% overnight. So typically, we'll do some trading today, but just for your guys' knowledge, I'm going to give you a scanner. Typically, I like to wait as close to the 4 p.m. bell as possible and then try and sell the following morning. Why? Well, you guys have probably seen this chart by now. If you haven't, I'll walk you through it. There's a phenomenon in the markets where they typically pop overnight. So what you're looking at is the average market return from trading during the day. So this is 9:30 to 4 p.m. window versus only the overnight. So this is 4 p.m. to 9:30 a.m. Not even like you hold them for 1 minute. Buy at 4 p.m., sell at the next market open. Now, obviously, well, there you go. Zero return from the day. Orange line, that's where the market's made all of its money typically. It doesn't always happen, but we like to typically put the data and odds in our side. So technically, when the market's closed, it typically makes the biggest moves overnight. So again, no money to be made during the day. Best returns happen over the night. That's why I like to try and enter around 4 p.m. when the day's almost done, not at 4, that would be the bell, but 3:55, when the day's almost over with, we can get in for that overnight pop on top of our bullish fade trade, a little extra wind in the sails. So let's walk through this step by step. First step here, I posted a document here in the chat, is you're going to want to build a scanner to find these stocks. Actually, before I get into the scanner, does this general concept make sense? It gets reverted too far to the downside, then reverts back to the mean to the upside. Hopefully that makes sense. I'll show you again Walmart. A lot like what you see here. This was earnings, so it's a little bit different, but hard up, hard up. Versus this is kind of mixed. All right, so that's generally like, yeah, down, up. That's generally what we're going for here. Not everyone's going to work out. For example, actually that one worked. 1, 2, 3. If you bought here, you would have lost. But as you can see, I'm trying to shoot for about 70% accuracy here. So step 1, we're going to build a scanner. I posted that link there in the chat for you guys. If you want to open up that document, this is just the code you're going to copy. This yellow line here is an optional filter. Basically, if you want to filter for only 2 down days or 3 down days, I like doing 3. It gives you a little extra juice on the pop typically, but you can just copy this right here. And then this scanner is built for stock fetcher. I'll give you guys a scanner for Thinkorswim next. So if you have a stock fetcher account, I think it's like $7. I think you can create a free one and use it. But you'll just come up here. Let's just go to the home page. Go to new filter. Right here. And you just call this whatever you want to call it. Bullish fade trade. And then we'll paste this code right in here. Now, again, if you only want to trade the ones that have fallen 2 days down, you can take this out. If you want the ones that have gone 3 days in a row, so like Walmart wouldn't have shown up with this in here, but if you want the ones that go 3 days in a row, you leave that in. So then we'll go fetch the stocks. And let's go back to our training deck. So step 1, build a scanner. That's done. Step 2, we want to sort for the strongest stocks first. So in this code, I built a small filter that looks at the 1 month and 3 month percent change in the stock. Ideally, we want to trade a stock that looks more like, well, not that one, it dropped out of the sky, but a stock in a beautiful trend like Walmart or here PPG, or for example, Sherwin-Williams, or for example, SWK, versus a stock that looks maybe like this, like Lennar, right? Not as pretty of a trend. So what we can do here is let's go to the table button. There's only a few on today. We may take this code out and just filter it for 2 days. But go to the table, and then over here, average percent. I built this for you in the code. Just click the average percent. It'll sort top to bottom. It'll give you the strongest to weakest stocks. Now, again, I'm going to just take out this for right now. So I took out that 3-day rule just so we can get a larger list right now. And I'm going to sort again. Oh, GEV. Love that stock. All right. Strongest to weakest. Now I'm just going to flip back to the charts button so I can get a good eye on them. And again, we want to see stocks that have fallen 2+ days in a row. Ideally, a good slide like GEV could be a good setup, but you see how little those candles are? I don't know if I can. Let me zoom in on this a little bit. All right, see how little these are on GEV? It could be a good setup, but ideally, we want something that looks more like that Walmart example I showed you. Kind of like NXPI, for example. Big down, and then here's today. Again, just to reiterate, typically want to wait till the end of the day to place one of these trades. Ford looks pretty good right now. Big down day, slightly down today. All right, so there's our list. based on our filter we made, this should be able to, with that sort, again, you should be looking at these charts from strong stocks to weak ones. You'll notice as we scroll down, the charts start looking worse and worse, all the way down to GoDaddy, which looks terrible. This is why you don't want to trade one of these, because it likes to go down. So it doesn't matter if it fell 3 days in a row, it just kept falling. Good stocks don't like to give up too much gains. All right, so now let's go back to the deck here and go through some good and bad examples of what you want to look for. Just stop me if you guys have any questions. I don't have a scanner from Fidelity Trader, no. Daily candles, Carlos, yes. Eco Impact, I only see 3. If you copy and pasted that code in, you should see more, unless now for the 3-day rule, it may be filtering out more. Debbie, yeah, I'll give let me just actually do this. If you guys want to throw it in Thinkorswim. Let me just tell you guys the exact rules on that one real quick. That one is only built for 2 consecutive down days. So if you want to, Debbie, you can add in a 3rd consecutive down day there as well in the code. Oops. All right. Yes, we will. Carlos, I'll do options next. And you probably can make this on FinBiz. All right, let's go through some good and bad examples here. Here's a good example. A Fortinet, great trend at the time. 2 days down, 1, 2. It's a good entry. I even like here that it was actually, even though it was down on the day, the daily candle was bullish, meaning it closed higher than where it opened. Typically a good sign. Here's one that you might want to pass on. Take Two. Came off a massive earnings beat at the time. You can see that there. Then it sold off. Now this one technically would have maybe worked out, maybe broke even. It looks like it would have worked out. However, I don't want to trade ones coming off earnings tailwinds or big news tailwinds, just because we don't know if Take Two is going to go fill the gap, attempt to fill the gap lower. It's just too much news in the stock. Here's another example of a perfect one. JP Morgan, beautiful trend. Couple big sell-off days and a pop on the 3rd day. So again, we want to go for stocks that are going up in a bullish trend, that are that just reverted to the mean, to then buy that discount. So again, obviously, I look to avoid earnings. I avoid stocks that are being manipulated with news or squeeze. It's like GameStop. I'm not going to do this on GameStop or AMC or any of those high squeeze names, just because there's too many external factors going on. We want a very natural, smooth market movement here. Now, preferably, I say this for everything, preferably, we should be trading stocks that are leaders in their sectors. So that's what we talk about every Tuesday. Ideally, you want to trade a strong stock in a good sector, no earnings, 2+ down days, and ideally liquid options if you're going to use options. Is NVIDIA, someone asked, is NVIDIA too close to earnings to play now? No, I wouldn't say so. It's not until the earnings day or after that I would avoid it. So like NVIDIA, for example, if I can get this to pull up. Here was a down day, then it went up the next day, then down. Could have bought here, ideally for a pop on the next day. It doesn't always happen in 2 days. 3 days can give you a little bit more reliability, but even though NVIDIA earnings are next week, we still have time to play it. All right. So again, any questions here so far? If you're in a strong stock that's not a leader in the sector, it can work, or that's not in a strong sector, it can work out as well. But again, ideally, we like to have everything line up perfectly, where everything's moving with the tide, swimming with the tide. So there's 2 rules that you can put in for improving accuracy. Rule number 1 is use that 3-day code. So that code I gave you right now, it had it in there. I just took it out to give us more filters. But if you want to use that 3rd day, make sure you have this yellow line item in here, which will give us less stocks. 9 results today, but it'll just give us more or better accuracy here. So these are the ones that are down 1, 2, 3 days in a row. 1, 2, 3 days in a row. 1, 2, 3. This one's down a little bit more than 3. Mohawk. And keep in mind, this doesn't necessarily mean you're going to have a trade every single day. But when they line up, especially when they line up with the markets, which I'll talk about next, it can be really good. All right. So if you want to have higher accuracy, higher probability, add in that 3-day rule. This gives us an extra day of the stock reverting away from the mean, which in turn means that snapback could be even stronger the following day. Rule number 2 is time it up with the S&P. So if the S&P is down 2+ days in a row, it increases our win rates. I highlighted a bunch of examples here. First one here, 2-day fall, S&P pops, which means the broad market, generally speaking, is going up. Again, extra gasoline in the tank for your trade. Down, down, pop, down, down, pop, down, down, pop. Technically, this one too. Down, down, popped at the open. Let's see, that's an up day. Up, up, up. All right. Down, down, even though it's green. Look, it's a drop. That's a down and down, pop. Down, down, and it popped. This is probably the best way to trade it. And this is why it's cool to take a look at it right now, because we are getting a lot in this nasty chop. I think we can all agree it's pretty nasty chop right now. There are, versus like here, when markets are going higher, 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 we get a lot less opportunities that align with the market. Like here's one, but other than that, you don't really get one. Maybe this one. But other than that, there's not a ton. Here's a good one. But right now, look how much more red there is on our charts. So here, well, that's not even technically, but here, let's see. Down, 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 3 days down in the S&P. A lot of stocks popped on this day, February 6th. Big green candle in the S&P. So if you can time this up, down, down, pop in the S&P. Down, down, pop in the S&P. If you can time it up with the broad market as well, it's just going to increase your accuracy, increase your odds. Right now, we're coming off an up day. Right now, we're red. We'll see where we finish. But ideally, if we get a down, down day, you pull up your scanner, you go find some stocks that are doing exceptionally well that happen to be getting dragged down, and you can buy them for an overnight pop.
Can you double check that TOS link that you gave? Because it comes up as Nate's gap scanner.
Yeah, sorry. Oops. Interesting. Let me go ahead and try and export it again. I don't even know if I have a Nate gap scanner. Oh, yeah, I do. All right. Share. This is what huh. Let me just make a new one. 219. All right, let's try this link. And this is what it should look like right now.
That's it.
Okay. All righty.
Thank you.
Yep. Oops, let me get this out of here. All right, does this make sense? This is really, if I'm being totally transparent, this is the best time to be trading it. And markets like this are perfect. Because again, that nasty chop is terrible for our swing trades. It's just so brutal. In fact, the lotto board, which you guys know have been crushing. Right now, it's I think maybe 40% are up because it's just going to be going up one day, down the next, up one day, down the next. Not been a ton of fun, but this overnight moves can be very powerful to trade right now, especially when you line it up with the broad market. So a good reminder for us. Just put a little mental note in your brain that anytime the S&P 500 falls 2+ days in a row, especially when we get those larger than normal sell-offs, go look for some good fade trade opportunities. Again, good stock, strong sector, down 2+ days. There's a good chance that if the markets pop the next day, your trade may be popping more. Dale says, makes sense. When I ran the scan, it only shows 3 tickers. Dale, are you using the Thinkorswim one or are you using the stock fetcher?
There were a few questions up above as
Okay.
well.
Stock fetcher. Do you have a paid account or free? It may limit your stocks on a free one. Roger and I have a paid one that we use together. What were the other questions? Sorry.
Yeah, there was one about requiring it to buy an account at StockFetcher. Um,
If you do you Dale, do you have Thinkorswim or like Charles Schwab?
do you enter the
Dale, just
trading?
use that scanner from that I posted in there. It'll go right into your Schwab.
You might have answered this since he asked it, but Mitch said when you enter the trades, do you enter them in the afternoon on the second or third day down, or do you wait until the morning of the next day?
The before the close. Yeah. So if it's a third day down, you entered that third day, not the next day, not on day 4. Day 4 is ideally when you're taking profits.
Can you show them where to post it in StockFetcher again?
Yeah. If you're on the stock fetcher homepage, you go right here to new filter. Click that, paste it in there. Then you
Did
fetch the
you
stocks.
did you answer this already about selecting the expiration dates on the options?
Nope. We're going to do that next.
Okay.
Do I recommend stock fetcher? It's up to you. I like it. That's how I pull my sector codes or my sector strength in stock fetcher that I show you guys each Tuesday. Someone asked, how do we know what's a strong sector? Each Tuesday I cover this. So right now, energy, materials, industrial staples, healthcare are the top sectors. But we have a whole bunch of filters in here. So I like it because I actually just, when I first started out of college, I trained under Roger and he used stock fetcher. So I learned to code in stock fetcher, which was really easy. Even easier now with the AI stuff. ChatGPT can help you.
What do you think stronger, the overall sector trend that you go over, or how a particular sector ETF is doing that day?
I would say the overall trend. So right now, energy is really hot. Energy, I think it may be cooling off on the day to day. Let's look. Oh, it's up again today. But like here's energy. Look at that thing. And here's a down day. Here's an up day, even though it's red. Up day, down day, down day. Very strong sector, big pop. So that's why we like to focus on the ones that are doing the best. Because typically when we do get those relief moves, those big pops, they pop the most. Now look at this. Remember, I just showed you the S&P set up an opportunity to buy on February 5th for the pop on the 6th. The energy sector didn't actually set up the fade that the markets did, but we're not looking at each individual sector to fade as well. We just would ideally trade an energy stock the day the markets did that for the big pop the next day. Yeah, we will. We have a replay for you in the opening playbook members area.
Yeah, so real quick for those who don't know, we have a members area specifically for opening and closing playbook sessions. It's just $1 to join. An um it's a lifetime membership, so it's not like $1 per day or anything. It's literally $1 for permanent access. Here's the link to join it. We have every slide deck that we do in opening and closing playbook gets posted in there, so you can review these slides. Replays are in there. You can see a replay of everything, and then all the trades that we take are in there. I also include like links that we post, like these scanner links and stuff will be in with where we normally keep the trades, just as notes on the session. So all kinds of stuff. Plus, there's all kinds of training in there, additional strategies, calculators. It's really the best dollar you'll ever spend.
Yeah. All right. So I got a lot of questions. Someone asked about Meta. So like Meta is a good example of one that I would probably avoid right now for starters. Not in a good trend, but also you can see here why trading post earnings can be unreliable. So earnings pop down, down. You might be thinking, oh, it's a good time to fade. Actually, you probably would have broke even on this one from close to the next open. However, because it's trading on news right now, It just kept going down. And now it's below the 200-day moving average, not a pretty trend. You can do it. You can trade it. You can trade it both directions because it's volatile. But I typically like to focus on strong stocks. All right, real quick, let's do some option selection here. The most basic way to trade it, most basic way to trade it is buy stock. Second most basic way to trade it is buy basic calls. Typically, you want to go this is just rough, 7 to 10 days till expiration. That way you're not eating too much time decay and one strike out of the money. This tends to give you very clean leverage, especially because you typically only want to hold it overnight. So you'll eat very little time decay and still have a shot at a good move. My favorite way to trade it, and someone asked this earlier, my favorite way to trade it is the wrap order. That's where I go at the money with the debit spread, buying one strike below, selling one strike above. Because if it moves outside of that top strike, so if it gains, 0.5% to 1% the next day or more, I can probably get about 100% return on investment. So the calls, if the stock pops a percent, you might get 50%. With the wrap, if it pops 1%, I get 100%. Now, just to be clear, if the stock pops 4%, the calls will probably be up 300%. So they'll outperform the wrap order. But typically, stocks aren't moving 3% in a day. They can, but I over time find the wrap order to be more consistent. Number 3, if you want to avoid all time decay and even not worry if the stock's flat the next day, you can go 1% in the money on a stock and buy that option. For example, let me find one. HWM. This one's post news, so I'm going to do it. But 1% in the money would be about $2.50 in the money. So if I were to go to HWM, one of these two. But the only downside to this is they're going to be more expensive. Right now, this is $650 versus the wrap order is, this is next week. Let's see. The wrap order is trading for $1.70. So 6 times the price.
You want me to post that?
No.
Okay.
All right. Where do I find info about wrap orders? It's in the members area. The $1 members area has full trainings for those. Rubber Biscuit, good question. How do you know when to make the fade trade after 2 down days versus wait for the 3rd day? Well, first off, it's probably a position sizing question for you. So if we don't, like today, we don't have alignment in the S&P fully, as I showed you previously, like this would have been perfect alignment right here. But we don't have that right now. If we don't have alignment right now, I typically like to stick to 3 days just because it's going to be a little bit higher conviction. If you go with 2 days, and you can think of it this way, if I normally put in $200 for a trade on a 3-day down, I may only put $100 in on a 2-day down. Yes, wrap is a debit spread. So you can trade them all, but it's just a matter of position sizing. You want to size up when the opportunity is the best. When the S&P lines up and the stock lines up and the sector's good, everything aligns. That's where you want to look. So now let me go ahead and edit this filter.
And I would say if you have a really small account and you can't afford multiple positions on each trade, then you might want to be more picky and go for the higher conviction 3-day ones and skip the 2-day ones, right?
Sorry, what was that?
I said if you have a really small account and you just don't have the budget for multiple
yeah.
positions, then you might want to just skip the 2-day ones, be, more picky, go for the 3-day ones. You'll have fewer opportunities, but they'll be higher conviction.
Yeah, definitely not a bad idea. All right, let me make this. All right. So this is actually already filtered. I forgot I did this to only give you the stocks that are in an uptrend for the most part. It's loose rules, but up over the last 3 months, up over the last 6 weeks. 3 days. I'll send this in the chat too. Oh, it's already there. Man. All right, let me
You do
share.
so much in a day, you forget what you did already.
I know. All right. Share. All right, if you want the 3 days one. Kathy, copy and paste stock fetcher said no stocks because syntax. You may want to just recopy and paste. A character may be missing. All right, so let's see how this code's working out for us today. Let me flip it over to the 3 days. All right, so here we go. This one's coming off news. I would pass. You can actually put some filters in for news. All right, P car. So this is an industrial stock. Does anyone remember if industrials are good or bad right now? On our Tuesday list, I covered it. I think it's the third strongest sector. So industrials are one of the strong sectors right now. Now this one has seen 1, 2, 3 days down. Not as hard and fast as maybe we'd like, but P car. Let's do a watch list. I'm trying to add this. P car is a good one to put on our watch list. Let me just do this. Otherwise, they're going to bounce around crazy. Oh, bib. I love this stock. Healthcare stock. Healthcare, I think, is fourth on the watch or on the sector strength. Here you can see a good example. Well, this is after news. Down, down, up. But we have 3 down days on BIIB. This stock I've been doing really well on lately. Hopefully I can hit again on bib, but that's a good one on our watch list. Versus like this one, not a pretty chart. BMY, Bristol Myers. Let's see. Trading after news. I'm going to add it to the watch list. Just because it's a solid setup here. But I'm going to try and build a watch list. And then find the best ones. So like this one, I think I already covered this one. But post news, drifting lower, pass. Post news, drifting lower, pass. Same thing. INTC is an interesting one. It's been one of those ugly choppers as of late, but even though it's green, that's down, 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 and it also has support at the 50-day moving average. So I'm going to add INTC onto our watch list here. I'm just editing and growing this list. Now, INTC is tech. Tech is not one of our strong sectors. But it does have additional support. Oh. Another healthcare. This one looks pretty darn perfect. It is after news. Man, because this, see the 50-day moving average here, it's finding support. Man, I'll add it. I'll put an asterisk near it. I'll put an asterisk by INTC too. BRTX. If it wasn't right after earnings, I would say this is like the perfect setup. Big, big, big. It has support, strong sector. But bummer. All right. I think that's
Colonel, when you look at a daily chart in Thinkorswim, it has little icons at the bottom that shows you that there were earnings or other events.
Yep, right here. Yep. So that's how I can see they had earnings 4 days ago, 5 days ago. Market days.
Carlos, yes.
All right. So yeah, that link I just posted in there's 3 days down. All right. So let's look at our opportunities here. Let me tighten this up. PCAR, which I believe we said was an industrial. Great bullish trend. Let's see how then. I'm just curious. Yeah, oh man, industrials are going higher today. Have the markets gone positive yet? Oh, they're fighting. S&P's fighting. Now again, one of the reasons I like to wait till 4 p.m. or 3:55 is because we don't know what PCAR is going to do between now and then. Is it going to sell off more? Is it going to go higher? Will it even qualify as a trade by the end of the day? We don't know. But hey, industrials are going higher, so I'm going to go ahead and do this now. Hopefully industrials keep going higher. and we can benefit. Now, you may notice here, PCAR doesn't, this is where things get frustrating. This is why Nate and I love building these tools for you guys that automatically pick the options, because PCAR doesn't have weekly options. It only has monthlies. All right. So if we're going to trade the monthly, expiration date's February 20th. Look at your calendar. That's tomorrow. All right. So the only way I would personally trade PCAR is a wrap order, right? Because then we can get our 100% move if it gains less than 1%. However, the strikes also have to align. And look at these strikes: 125, 128.6. We're not going to wrap that. The stock would have to move 3% overnight for us to make money. Very wonky, very weird. Again, this is why Nate and I, this is why we build things like the income machine or the on the clock stocks dashboard or the Apex dashboard or the lotto board. Because we just did, we're 43 minutes in on this meeting today, and I flew through this analysis of these stocks, and now it's not even going to be an opportunity for us. All right, let's go to the next one. Let's see, how is healthcare doing today? Healthcare is still down. All right. BIIB, BIB. It is technically after news, but it's been about almost 2 weeks now. Whoops, here we go. Does have weekly options. I actually have a position open. Like I said, I've been doing well on this stock, hopefully continue to do well. So if you want to trade the weekly options, I would go to next week's expiration here. So 27th of February on BIIB, buying the 192.5 strike call. If you want to go more aggressive, you can go one strike further. It's going to be a little bit cheaper. But this one is technically just out of the money, one strike, kind of right at the money. So either of these would be fine to trade BIIB Biogen for an overnight pop. Again, you can take the trade now if you want to. Typically, I like to wait till end of day. David, did you get that by chance?
Mm-hmm.
Sweet. All right. If you want to go for the wrap order, which I'll do today for fun, let's see what they're priced at. There's no way that's going to fill. I'll start at between the two strikes, but you would use the 20th of February. So tomorrow's expiration. This is why I like doing it on Thursdays. Buying one strike in the money, selling one strike out. So 190 and 192.5 strikes here. It's pretty wide right now. I have a feeling we won't get filled here, just having traded this plenty of times myself, because BIIB is already almost above that higher strike.
What was the debit on that?
Oh, sorry. Well,
Or you're not doing it?
I put in at 125, but now it's 145. It's not gonna, because the debit technically right now is worth $2. So this number should be a lot closer to $2, and it's not. It shouldn't be at $2 to be clear, because there's still time value.
All right.
Let's see if 150 works. So that's still a pretty good price. That's what, 67% overnight now on BIIB. No, this isn't.
No,
a
that would be
butter.
50%.
Oh wow,
On the
125
$1.50 would be. Oh, sorry. You're right.
No, I mean 150 is a pretty reasonable fill here,
Yeah.
which pays you 67% overnight. I don't know why that 125 filled, but hey, I'll take it from the market maker. We're basically, this bet, just to show you how not aggressive this is, we need BII. This is a 5-minute chart. So here's where it was yesterday at 195. We need BIIB above. We need to gain 50 cents from here for us to make that 67% return. Debbie got 140, so even better. So if BIIB is above 192.50 tomorrow, we'll hit our max profit.
Wow, Link got it for $1.38.
Oh, nice. Yeah, the lower the better for you guys.
That might be refurbished options. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what we need. All right, where'd my list go? All right, next up, BMY. All right, here's the thing. We just did BIIB. BMY is another healthcare stock. So typically, I like to pick one from a sector. I don't want 5 in the same sector, because if the sector's down tomorrow, they're all going to be down for the most part. Not always, but generally speaking. So if you want to, you can follow that same principle on BMY. So look at INTC. Let's see. How's the Dow or the NASDAQ? NASDAQ still down. I thought the S&P flipped positive. Right at break even, but the NASDAQ has not been great. Tech has not been great. Intel, tech, it's been great, but now it's just in this nasty tech looking like move. But if you wanted to trade Intel, you can do the same thing. They do have weekly options, so you have plenty of selection here. You can go to tomorrow's expiration and wrap it. If you were to do that right now, you need Intel to gain about 1% tomorrow to gain a little over 100% return on investment. But I did put an asterisk there because this just isn't a high conviction play because it's not in a strong sector. XLK, if you guys remember, is I think the worst sector now in the S&P. This is what XLK looks like the last few months. Meanwhile, I just showed you industrials. Let's look back at industrials. This is what industrials looks like. Here's what healthcare looks like. XLK was kind of the opposite. So I'm not going to do INTC, and I'm going to look at VRTX. I think that was the earnings one. I'm probably not going to do VRTX. You want to be very selective here. I mean, you can do them all, be my guest, maybe make a little basket out of them. But I like to be very selective with my picks, especially considering that the S&P is not currently lining up for the perfect scenario. Do I have any questions regarding the general principle that we covered today? PCAR. So the issue with PCAR is that the options strikes. Well, now you might be able to slide in here. Let's see. This is just so weird. 123.60. They must have had a stock split. Let's see. What is the math on this? 140, 60 over 140, or the other way around. Oops. If you can get filled there, that's 130% overnight on PCAR. But they're just kind of wonky. Why? I mean, I'll just throw one out there, see what happens. I have a feeling it's just not going to be liquid enough for us on PCAR. All right, give me a yes in the chat if today's training made sense. If you think it's something that you can use in the future, you'll feel confident that you know what to look for. That mental note of the S&P dropping a couple days in a row means a good opportunity for an overnight move. Or give me a no if I did it, if I totally lost you guys and need to revisit my training methodology. One thing I love about Jason, so I typically would tell you I don't think of myself as a great teacher. I'm a really strong doer. I can get things done, find things, test them, but I have a hard time trying to explain them and break it down on what I'm thinking. Jason, on the other hand, we need to get him in the opening playbook more because he is a fantastic. I mean, he's a teacher by trade. That's what he does. He teaches math, so he knows how to teach. Jason does a great job. We'll have to get him in here more often. The scanner is in the opening playbook members area. Slide deck, I believe, is in there as well. The replay definitely will be.
Yeah, the slide deck is in the members area, and in the trade doc is where you'll find the links for the scanners. Even though they're scanners, not trades, it's the only place we really can free type in there. So it's in with the trades that we just took.
Cool. Awesome. Well, with that said, as a reminder, we are going to have a members only meeting at 1 p.m. Eastern today to do a lotto board preview. Oh, it looks like the lotto board's back up, so I wonder if they got that move made. I'll have to follow up with the team. Diamond members will be getting it. Should be getting access today. I believe. I don't want to misspeak. It could be tomorrow, but I know they're in the middle of the move this morning for the Diamond members. So that we'll do a preview for members if you have any of my programs today at 1 p.m. But before we do that, I do want to highlight what's going on with Bitcoin. Again, once more, I've talked about this a few times. I'm trying to bring you guys to the water here on Bitcoin. Now, we can trade Bitcoin via IBIT, which is like trading SPY or QQQ. Very easy, extremely liquid options. And I've got a program specifically built around identifying upside moves in Bitcoin. You can see the blue arrows where it triggered, and the downside moves. You can see the pink, purple, whatever color that is, where they triggered to the downside. It's been pretty spot on. These are our last 4 weeks of trades for the perfect Bitcoin trade. Week 1, 95%. Week 2, 75%. Week 3, 16%. Week 4, this was just last week. We just closed this yesterday, 80%. Nice little hot streak here on our trades, and that's while Bitcoin got crushed. So today I want to share with you a little known method that's shown the power to turn small $1,000 investments into these nice sizable gains. And the thing is, we don't even need that big of a move in Bitcoin to see our result. A lot of times it's 1% or more. For example, in New Year, Bitcoin jumped north of 1%. I sent out a trade when we got this signal here. Bitcoin jumped. We made 137%. A lot better than 1%, right? Then the next time, Bitcoin was going 5% higher that month from our signal. Of course, I sent out a trade on it with options, 284%. So if you look at the underlying difference, because IBIT has such liquid options, instead of making 73 bucks on Bitcoin with the perfect Bitcoin trade, you could have made $2,846. Now here's where the program currently sits. I need to update this. I told you this last week when I tried to let you guys in on the perfect Bitcoin trade. We now are at 38 winners, so the win rate's a bit higher. But you can see the insane growth rate over the year. You can see all the numbers here. Not holding anything back. This is the cold hard data for the program. And we've had members do quite well. Hopefully, if you guys took action over the last few weeks when we opened up spots again, you've been doing exceptionally well too, especially considering we're coming off of 4 winners in a row. Now, there's a reason I call it the perfect Bitcoin trade, because it's the only method I know of that's been able not just to beat the S&P and NASDAQ, but even outpace returns of Apple, Amazon, and more in a fraction of the time. For example, back in April, Bitcoin plummeted, right? People were saying Bitcoin's hosed. They're done for. But April 21st, I got that buy signal from the indicator. You can see it right there. Sure enough, Bitcoin shot up over the next few days. And as always, I sent out a trade when we got that arrow, which paid 193%. Not bad, right? That's if you look at the numbers, that's 3 times what Apple has paid over the last 4 years, 8 times what Amazon has paid. Pretty good. Same thing, October 14th, we had a buy signal. So I sent out the trade. Sure enough, next 2 weeks, Bitcoin went higher. We made 118%. A few days later, got a buy signal. Sent out a trade. 117%. Someone did even better. Ron H. wrote in and did 200% on both of those. So this is the beauty of isolating one ticker, knowing its patterns really, really well, inside and out. You can see just the last few weeks here, we're hitting at, I don't know the number, over 75% win rate. 4 in a row right now, coming off an 80% win this week. And reminder, Bitcoin's been in the dumps. It's been getting pummeled. Now, it's all thanks to this custom-coded tool that tips us off to these liquidity vacuums to the upside and to the downside too. And just look at the timing on these moves. It's been able to call this Bitcoin top near perfectly, right? So each week on Friday, that is tomorrow, each week on Friday, I give you guys a new alert. Just like when I sent out recently, you get it sent to your email, cell phone, Telegram with the options. This case was 30 cents to enter, and 24 hours later, we hit 150% overnight, which is enough to have taken $1,000 and paid a $1,500 profit, or $2,000 for a $3,000 profit. Just like I've done over and over again. I actually took this trade. I made $3,096 on it, but I wasn't the only one. Alan C made 800. Deb made 160%. Howard, $1,600. Now, today, I want to invite you, give me another chance here to get started with the perfect Bitcoin trade with a new trade going out to the members tomorrow. We're going to do the same thing we always do. If you want in on this, go ahead, give me a yes in the chat. You can trade Buff. You can trade the underlying stock ticker. It's IBIT, or the options that I give you. This will be going out tomorrow. If you want in, feel free to post a yes in the chat. So it's all part of the perfect Bitcoin trade. Again, you get the email alerts, cell phone alerts, Telegram alerts each and every Friday. you get the quick analysis, the ticker, which is IBIT every single time, the option to take, the spread. That way, it doesn't matter who you are, what brokerage you have, you don't have to miss out. And of course, I don't leave you hanging either. I will follow up with an exit alert too when it's time to close out. That way, you're not left guessing. Now, it's my goal to give you the best opportunity each and every week, just like this last one I showed you here. 193% in 21 days, enough to flip $1,000 into 2,935. Now, you know, like any investment, Bitcoin can go up or down, but that's where this thing is so awesome. It picks up the liquidity vacuums to the upside and to the downside too. That way, when Bitcoin is falling, excuse me, look at these. I took off the blue arrows here just so you could focus on the pink purple ones. I mean, that's pretty good. No trade wins all the time, but that is pretty darn close. That's why we're hitting that north of 75% right now. So, of course, if it's a downside trade, you'll get the alert right away. Just like always, except for instead of using calls, we just use puts. Very easy. Like 2 winners we had in June, 100%, and then 100%, 51% in August. Actually, this is the last 2 trades. Let me go ahead and show you the last 4 trades here. 95%, 75%, 16%, 80%. All while Bitcoin was getting pummeled. So we can trade it both direction. Very basic. We're not doing iron condors, no naked options, no butterflies, nothing crazy here. Very simple each and every Friday. We just trade Bitcoin in the direction that the indicator's pointing.
I like how the disappointing one out of the 4 is still better than a year's worth of the S&P.
Yeah, that is true. And it was over the weekend. So there you go, guys. Now, of course, I'll keep track of these alerts for you in the trade tracker so you can see how it stacks up. We ran this program. We used the AI to fine-tune the code, and we ran the testing all the way back to the inception of Bitcoin. This is just following the up and down arrows on the underlying. I don't even know, like I can't even picture what that number produces. It's so big. 58,511% total ROI. I don't even know if you put $100 in what that would be. That's a huge number. Pretty hard to fathom. Yeah. But we're just following along with it with the options. And with nearly 18 months of live traded results on the board, up over 75% win rate. Actually, 76%. I just looked at the tracker now. 76% win rate, 87,000 in profit. This was from the roundtable post that I gave you guys 2 weeks ago. We did a roundtable. I said we're killing it. We're at 87% or 87,000 in profit. Well, over those last 2 weeks, we're now up to $92,107. So it's grown $5,000 over the last 2 weeks. Hopefully you paid attention. All right. So with numbers like that, it shouldn't shock you that we wanted to make this expensive, like everything. Everything's expensive now. Inflation station. But I went ahead for the members, knocked 50% off, making it $2,000 per year. That's the price we've been running it at. But now I want to set the membership fee at a price almost everyone can afford. I want to give you a taste for a limited time. This is the February special we're running on the perfect Bitcoin trade. It's not $4,000 for the year, not $2,000. Guys, it's $97 to get started. $97 gets you a month of trade. That way everyone here can come get a taste of these perfect Bitcoin trades starting today without needing to break the bank. So we're going to post the link here in the chat. There's no pressure. I'm not going to twist your arm, but hopefully the results speak for themselves here, guys. You can go to prosperitypub.com/trade or give us a call 904-706-3537. Again, guys, new trade on Friday. So tomorrow you will have a new trade. It's just like trading any other ticker. We're using IBIT. That's the exact same thing as trading the SPY. The SPY trades the S&P 500. The QQQ trades the NASDAQ 100. IBIT trades Bitcoin. Same exact thing. Very liquid options. And we just every single week follow along with the move that's set up for us. So what's the new trade going to look like? Only the new members will know. I don't even know yet. We have to check tomorrow and pick that for you. But again, we've had some incredible success here. One of the last trades I took, 111%, enough to flip 1,000 into $2,111, which would buy you 11 months of the membership in one trade. Now, of course, you'll also get the masterclass in there as well. Show you some of the other ways that we can target outsized move. And there's customer service live. If you guys have questions, we got a live Zoom room every day, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern. We can go in and talk with them. They'll share screen, walk you through stuff. They're awesome. We even have our phone lines are now open 6 days a week. We're crushing it on customer service. So again, new trade Friday. That's tomorrow. Click the link in the chat if you want in, guys. It's 97 bucks. I'm not trying to make you go all in here and pay $2,000 up front. $97 get you 1 month of access. You get a taste of these trades, hopefully some good profits, like the people who paid attention on the roundtable were able to see. Hopefully you're able to see some of these as well over the coming weeks. And then if you want to upgrade from there, I totally want to have you on board for the full year, maybe go to lifetime. But right now, I'm just trying to do a little February entry open door special to get you guys a taste of this to see how powerful it can be. How much do the options cost? Typically $100. Actually, I will read you guys the last few. The one we took this past week was 50 cents, so $50 per contract. The one before was 24. The one before that was $49, $49, $50, $40, $28, $25, $35. Most of these are dirt stinking cheap. That's because IBIT, unlike Bitcoin, it's not $60,000. It's like 40 bucks the ticker. So that's why these options are so cheap. How long does each trade last? The average holding period on the tracker is 11 days. That's because we did some bonus ones, but typically it's just Friday to Friday. We're just in on Friday and then we check back the next Friday. If we do hit our, get an excess profit early like we did this last week, we were up 80% yesterday. We went ahead and booked it. And I send you guys that update so you guys know you're not left hanging. We give you an exit alert. This works in your normal regular brokerage. I trade it in my retirement account with options. Again, no different than buying shares or options on Apple, Amazon, SPY, QQQ. Very same thing. You don't need a crypto wallet. You don't need some Coinbase account. You don't need anything crazy. We're just using IBIT. And again, I will give you exit alerts. So it won't just be entry alerts. You get exit alerts too. Each and every Friday, new trade here. 97 bucks gets you in the door, gets you a full month of trades. Hopefully you love it. Hopefully you upgrade from there. That's my goal for you guys, but I want to deliver for you first. So go ahead and click that link in the chat to get started. And David, I'll turn it back over to you.
All right, awesome. I'll stick around. We got a handful of questions that were private messages to me and in the main chat, so I'll stick around and answer those. Let me get this back up on the screen for people so they have it. And you can go do your thing, man. All right.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right, folks. So there it is up on the screen again. Perfect Bitcoin trade. You can get just a month for just 97 bucks if you don't want to go all in on a year or a lifetime or anything like that. But of course, if you do, there's a big discount for doing it from this offer. On the second page, you'll get offered those additional membership levels. DJK, the link for the meeting at 1 o'clock should be in any of the members areas. It says something like a lotto board preview or something like that. It's in the dollar opening playbook membership or any of Graham's programs in one click. Let's see. We got a whole bunch of questions in here, so let me run through them real quick. Yes, these trades come through the members area in one click. You'll get an alert through email, text, or telegram that there's a new trade, and then you'll open up the trade inside of one click. Let's see. www, I will try and find whatever replay you were asking for. I'm not going to dig into that right this second, but I'll look. You're asking, Mitch, I don't know if this was in regard to the perfect Bitcoin trade. You're asking about whether we're trading put credit spreads. So we are doing, let's see, in let me take a quick look at the trades because I don't remember off the top of my head. I think they're debit spreads, but I want to double check before I answer you. Perfect Bitcoin trade. Yes, they are. They're debit spreads. They could be puts or calls, but they're debit spreads, not credit spreads. All right, let's see. Yes, Russ, you can do this in any broker that lets you do option spreads. So, I mean, you can, anyone that gives you permissions to do option spreads, you can do it in. Um, we have three brokers that connect to our members area for easy one-click trading, but you can always just flip over to any brokerage account and enter these into your brokerage account. As long as you can do option spreads, then you're good to go. Let's see. Cynthia, there may be an occasion where there's no trade. I don't know. I think, let me take a quick look. I think like there may be only a couple of days throughout or weeks because it's one day a week, so it would be a couple of weeks. But I think there are only a couple of weeks throughout the entire year that get skipped. Um, Let me take a quick look at the track record and just see if we ever skip any. Oops. Oh yeah, there it is. Pick one trade. Trade tracker. Uh, yeah, so it does look like we do skip some. We do skip some. It's not every single week of every single month. We do skip some, but it's most weeks that we have trades. All right. So Cynthia, yeah, I would say, uh, you know, if you want to be able to because we're doing this 1 month deal right now, I don't know if this 1 month deal will be available a month from now. So it's really up to you. It's possible that we don't have a trade tomorrow, but the way things have been going this year, we've been hitting it pretty well. So, but we're let's say 6 weeks into the year, and we've had four trades this year so far. So, um, you know, you if tomorrow's the only day out of the next month that you can do, I will say you're taking a little bit of a gamble that the $97 might be, you might not get a trade tomorrow. There's a possibility. And then you'll be out for the rest of the month. And I'm only talking to Cynthia because she's not going to be available for the next few weeks. I'm not talking to everybody. Everybody will have four opportunities for the trading this for the $97. Cynthia sent me a message that she's traveling and won't be able to trade for the next few weeks. So Cynthia, I would say you probably want to wait on that. And I don't know if the month will be available when you get back or not, but don't want you to waste your money. So for everybody else, the $97 gives you four opportunities for a trade. Bruce, how do I access it? You go to the one click, you go to our members area, which is app.oneclicktrading.com. App.oneclicktrading.com. Do. Oh, all right, let's see here. Oh, thank you, Cheryl. Appreciate your comment. So, Mitch, these are vertical debit spreads. So they're either, buying and selling a call with the same expiration, different strikes, or buying and selling puts with the same expiration, different strikes. The full year price is it's the 97 plus 597. So 694 gets you a full year, and then it's only another 297 to upgrade to VIP. So total is either 97 for a month, 694 for a year, or 991 for VIP. Those are the totals by the time you get to those levels. 97, 694, 991. I mean, VIP for 991 is crazy cheap. We don't do VIPs for under a grand very often. Let's see. All right. If I missed anybody's question besides WWW on something Nate related, which I'll get to in a minute, if I missed anybody else's question, hit me up again right now and I'll try and get it answered for you. I'm just checking through everything here to see if I can find anything that I missed. DJK, I don't actually have the 1 o'clock meeting link. Uh, I can grab it though, but it should be in any of the members areas for Graham's programs. Let's see. Looks like I got everything. Any other questions before I close out the webinar? Do, do, do. All right, www. I'll get to your question about Nate after we close up. The chat will still work. All right, folks. Thanks so much for being here, for attending Opening Playbook, watching the presentation here on Perfect Bitcoin, participating in the chat, all that good stuff. If you're a member of any of Graham's programs, go into one of the members areas and grab that link for the 1 p.m. Eastern meeting. Otherwise, if not, you can join with that $1 membership. If you want a cheap way in, that would be the cheapest way in. I'll post that again here in the chat. This is the cheapest way to become a member of a Graham program. And then you'll see the invitation to the 1 o'clock meeting. Otherwise, if you're not and don't want to become one, you can stick around for Stonkomania in this room at 12:30. No, 1:30. Sorry, 1:30. 1:30 for Stonkomania if you're not a member of any of Graham's programs. All right. Well, we'll call it a morning here. I hope you have a great middle of your day and hope to see you back in Closing Playbook in this room at 3:30. Good luck with your trades.